Welcome back, everybody. I'm super excited to introduce you to this little gem of light sitting next to me. I'm here with Molly Standley, owner of Molly Moon Crafts. And if you haven't seen her candles around, where have you been? So first, let's start there. Tell us a little bit about your business, what you're creating, and how we came to have that.
So Molly Moon Crafts, we are a woman-owned business based out of the Coachella Valley. Mm-hmm. We hand make candles, room sprays, incense, things that smell good. We are, like, our core team is 4 people, and then we have a ton of helpers. I started the business in 2021 on accident.
Okay.
So backtracking in 2020, I was working 3 jobs, serving, DoorDash, everything. And I was going to school, so I pretty much had no time ever. Mm-hmm. I was just like literally sprinting from place to place. Mm-hmm. And my body just like stopped one day. I was a pool server at the Ace Hotel, and I remember I like picked up a towel and I was like, this is too heavy.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, oh, fuck, I have to go to the hospital.
Oh, okay, wait. So just like suddenly,
yeah,
you had...
Like, I was like nauseous, like I thought I had the flu, but
right.
like I'm not rich enough to not go to work when you have the flu.
And then it was also like pre-COVID, so you, as a restaurant worker, you never went home sick, you always worked.
Always. So yeah, I was like, hey, I think I'm like actually sick.
Yeah.
So I went to urgent care initially, and I was like, hey, I'm like weird. And they said, well, it's like Friday, we don't have time to do tests, you probably have strep throat. And so they gave me medication for strep throat, which made me puke a lot more. And then I went to the emergency room and they said, ma'am, your liver's failing. I didn't realize I was jaundiced. So I was like yellow, and I thought I was like randomly tan. I wasn't randomly tan. I was jaundiced. It was really
Oh my gosh.
So I went in there, and at that point I was 6 years sober.
Okay.
So the doctors are like, hey, like, are you doing hard drugs? Are you drinking? Like, what's going on? And I'm like, I have no idea. So I was admitted to the hospital for a few weeks, and that was early 2020. And then within 3 weeks, the COVID shutdown happened.
Oh my gosh.
So they kicked everyone on my floor out of the hospital. And I spent the next year and a half just trying to figure out what was going on with my body.
Oh my gosh. So outside of like working really hard and overworking your body, do you feel like you were being healthy otherwise? Was this like a complete surprise?
No. I mean, I was healthy in terms of like, I was very active. I was skateboarding every day. Mm-hmm. Like, I felt healthy, but like I ate like Taco Bell, you know, like let's say health and wellness kind of vibes.
Sure.
Right.
Some burritos and things.
So like being seriously ill was like brand new to me. I'm like, oh, this is different.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, during that time I get discharged, and they say like I'm on a transplant list, and then they say, well, it seems like you're getting a little better, so have fun out there.
Oh, wow.
So it was a lot of like seeking doctors and trying to find help, but it was like a shutdown. So a lot of places weren't seeing patients in person.
Right.
And meanwhile, like my liver enzymes, like they were supposed to be, I believe, under 30, and they were over 3,000.
Oh, wow.
So it was gnarly. Like it was gnarly. And for me, like I'm just used to being like such a hard worker. Mm-hmm. Like I'm very goal oriented.
Right.
And like I couldn't shower.
You couldn't do
like,
anything.
I couldn't do like I had to get down my stairs at home. I'm like like it was gnarly.
So you went from working 3 jobs, doing all right, living, being okay, getting extremely sick, and figuring out how to live during the sickness. So you weren't working? Were you working at all? Or?
At that point, I was planning to transfer to SDSU.
Okay.
So I had been saving money to move to San Diego. And so I basically had like a couple $1,000s. And I'm like, okay, just pay rent and don't die. Luckily, I met my partner, I want to say 2 months before that. And we met on Tinder, and he was just like, I'm here for this. So he was in the hospital with me. He moved into my house. Like he like really kind of helped me navigate that time. But yeah, for me, I was just initially like spiritually like bankrupt, emotionally bankrupt, like financially bankrupt. And I just was trying to live. And so for me, crafting has always been my coping skill.
So you kind of dug back into that. Okay. So, and you chose candles. Was that a new craft for you?
That was new. So initially I went to a doctor's visit and they said, you need to stay home. Because I kept trying to like do DoorDash, but I'm like dizzy and like puking. Like it was not, but I'm like, who's going to pay my rent? Like being homeless while that's happening, not chill.
Gonna happen, yeah.
So yeah, I'm like leaving the doctor's appointment and he's like, hey, you need to rest. And I'm like, okay. So I stopped by Michael's and I'm like, what craft can I afford right now? And there was like a Mother's Day candle kit on sale and it was like under $20. And I'm like, this is what I'm gonna like hyper fixate on. So I went home and I just was kind of messing around with it. Like for me, gift giving is my love language. So like every Christmas, you are getting a handmade gift, all right? And it's gonna have hearts on it and it's gonna be made with love. So I was like, okay, I'll get started. I'll get an early start on Christmas presents. I don't know. So I did this candle kit and I made really shitty candles. Shout out to anyone who bought one. I'm sorry. I hope your house is okay. Like, I made some weird shit. Didn't read the instructions.
Well, why would you?
Yeah, I was just going for it. And so I initially like posted on Instagram sarcastically. I'm definitely like sarcastic on the internet, and I'm like, who wants to buy candles? And instantly they were sold out.
Okay, and so what year are we in? 2021?
We're in 2021.
Okay.
Yeah,
so still kind of everybody's figuring out how to live. All right, and they're like, I want to do that. I want to buy that.
Yeah, I don't know why. I was like in the parking lot of the skate park, like, who wants this for your mom? Like, I was just like, anyone want this? And so then they were sold out after like the first batch, and I'm like, okay, I'll go back to Michael's because like now I can get groceries.
Oh, right.
You know, so I just like really this business was built off a $20 investment.
So $20 investment, how much did you profit the first sellout?
Oh, I have no idea.
But enough to buy more candles and buy groceries.
Yeah, that was it.
Okay, so then now you're like, I could actually make this be something.
Yeah.
So what was your next like strategic step for that?
I think for me, I'm very I want to say creative with making money. I've been like self-supporting for a long time. And so I'm like, what do I, like very much survival mode, like fight or flight. So I just was like, this is something that I don't have to clock in for. I can be sick. And then let's say I have 2 hours of energy for the day, I can go pour candles.
Yeah, right.
So I initially was like, okay, let's just try. And so each batch bought more supplies for another batch. And like being bedridden, I'm just like on every mom blog of like how to make good candles.
Yeah.
Shout out to Pinterest. Shout out to the mom blogs. I love you guys. I learned everything because it is like such a science. And initially, like I wasn't like testing the products, you know. I was like, I need money. Like I'm just going.
Right. Well, you said it right, fight or flight. Like it's like survival or not. Yeah. And this was one thing that you found that you could make some money doing and didn't take all of your energy, which you were lacking still.
Yes. So it was cool. I started with like initially a little piece of paper and I'm like, Rebecca wants 2 purple candles. Okay. And so I just kind of like started my own process. Like I feel like everything in this business, like you can tell our processes even for my team. It's like, Molly made this in her kitchen. Like you can tell, it's like pet the dog now, you know, like it is very like personal to just like one foot in front of the other.
Yep.
So yeah, I didn't really consider making it like a career or like a job. Like I never was dreaming of entrepreneurship. I feel like in terms of business, I've always been like, but like I don't crave to like be rich. You know? I just want to live.
Right. And there's something about being self-sustaining, and there's something about building that to where you now have employees. And that is wealth too. That is being rich too.
Truly.
And so that's really special because now here we are, what is it, 2026? So when did it become, let's backtrack. So you're still struggling with your health. That's still a factor. So this is the only thing you're doing to make money. Okay. So when did you are like, well, this is actually more than just something to take my time. I'm actually going to commit and do it?
I feel like honestly, it took multiple years for me to believe it was like a real business. In a way, I like the imposter syndrome. I'm like, oh, okay, I'm tricking everyone into thinking this is real.
They're just doing it because they know me.
I'm like, that's
and
crazy.
It's got a cute
they
little
all,
label.
Yeah, like they hate the candles and they're just being nice
they're
to
like
me.
trash.
Yeah. So that took a couple years, but I feel like our first big project was like this partnership with the Hyatt in Indian Wells. And
that's a really big deal.
Yeah, and that was like a month or two in. So that's where I was like, oh no, I can't just mix random stuff together because they need like a consistent product, right? And I happened to know someone who worked there, and she like helped me make my first invoice. And they're like, what's your wholesale pricing? I'm like, don't know what that means. Like, and so they really like guided me through that.
Right.
And they like even fake negotiated me. I hope she doesn't get in trouble for that. I was like, I don't know. And so for me, I was like, okay, like, I'm serious, like I want to do well at this. And then I feel like once you get a project that like looks real, then people are like, you're real. I want it. I want some now.
They don't know that you've been doing this for just a couple of months out of your kitchen with the limited amount of energy.
Yes.
Because it wasn't showing up that way.
No. And I was at that meeting literally puking like in the bathroom in the lobby. And then I get in there and I'm like, wholesale pricing, am I right? It was crazy. And my poor partner was just there and he's like, yeah, I believe in you. I don't know. Let's do it, I guess.
So I think it's really important. I want to hear more about it, but I just think it's really important that you, and I'm sure you have, come to terms with how incredibly strong and special that moment was for you to do this, because people stop with a lot less barrier. Like, you know what I mean? Like you like had a ton of barriers and people quit a lot earlier and you never did. And that's like huge. And people need to understand that you can do that. Like, you know, you didn't have formal business training. You just did it. So that's really amazing.
Yeah, you don't need business training. I don't know, maybe I'm not rich, but.
Well, I mean, I think, again, it goes back to like, you know, just doing it is more important than doing it perfectly. So, okay, so now here we are. We're rolling through 2021. You're doing the thing. We're in the Hyatt, which is a huge deal. People come from all over the world to see that. So, okay, then what happened next?
Honestly, I just said yes to everything. And during that time, I was like still going to doctor's visits and like I'm doing like meal elimination diet plan. Like
Because you still don't know what's wrong with you.
No fucking our theory was autoimmune hepatitis, but nobody like knows. And then I ended up seeing an herbalist in Cat City, and I don't know if y'all have heard of iridology, but
is it like?
No, she looks in your eye.
Oh no!
And is like,
it's your
hey,
ear?
because basically like the CAT scans are showing like your organs are all inflamed and like pushing on each other, but they don't know the cause. And so I just started taking different herbal supplements that help with the inflammation. And honestly, within a month, like I'm eating food, I'm walking around, I have like I'm normal.
So you've been sick for like 2 years, and after a month of doing these herbal, natural things and being okay, so now you got your energy back. What happened next?
So now I'm like, oh, this is sick. I have a business. Like, I have a business. And so honestly, like I feel like the toxins weren't really like draining, right? So I was thinking about like COVID brain fog. I was like that for like years.
Yeah.
So I'm like coming out of it and I'm like, oh my God, like this is cool. And so I really just like kept saying yeah, especially once I had my energy, like a pop-up here or like an event here, I just said, yeah, like let's go. And in the beginning it was gnarlier because I'm like puking everywhere. So I'd be like texting my friends like, hey, will someone come hang out in case I'm like puking too much? And like, dude, my friends were so awesome. Yeah. So after that, I kind of like learned the processes of like, I definitely have ADHD tendencies. I'm forgetting my brain is like
I
everywhere.
can tell that you're like literally at 100 miles an hour all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when I'm getting these big orders, I'm like, I need 37 citrus agaves. I need 47. And I'm like, how do I keep track? So I just started like writing things down on whiteboards and like getting processes in order.
Right.
And just kept it going.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when did it become it is my full-time job?
I mean, instantly, because I became unemployed from illness.
Okay.
So, yeah, I want to say I realized I could make rent off of it probably 2 months in.
Okay.
And I'm like, I love rent paid. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. That's pretty amazing. So now rent's paid. So what else are we saving money for? What else are we doing?
I think the more the business has grown, the less money there is in a way.
Sure.
There's like a lot more to pay for, and especially like doing it legally. Following the law is expensive. Oh my gosh, y'all, the permits,
Sure.
payroll, workers' comp, like it's so much. So at least for our past year, I want to say our cost of supplies went up 40%. So what was a good profit margin before it was like we just existed last year.
Yeah. Well, that happens sometimes in business. There's going to be the ups and downs. And if you look at the big picture and you see like on a hard year like last year, what could you have done to like be more cost effective and then implement that this year? You'll be better than last year immediately.
Yeah.
So it's like looking back on your systems and everything, it will be very helpful for you moving forward. Yeah,
we did that. For me, I did not raise our prices for multiple years. And definitely that imposter syndrome of like, well, if it costs this much, no one's gonna want it. And so I was so afraid of raising our prices. And I posted, I think January, I'm like, hey, this is why we're raising prices. And literally like hundreds of people are like, fuck yeah, you should. It's worth that. And I was like crying. I'm like, what? Like, you guys really like it? That's awesome.
Yeah, they're not, I mean, I'm sure they really like you. It sounds like you have a great support system of friends and your partner. But I'm not a small group, but that's not everybody who knows you, and that's not everybody who's buying your stuff. And so they don't even actually know you. They just love what you do. And so, fuck yeah, raise the prices.
Yeah. So that support felt so good. Like, I feel like emotionally, but also for the business, I'm like, yay, we get to stay employed.
Yes.
That's awesome.
So you obviously candles. Is there anything else that you're doing in your little world?
Yeah. So we love to do events. I found for me that's kind of what lights me up is I love like our interactive workshops. I love just like, I don't know, being out there with the people. We spend a lot of time here creating the products and it kind of becomes a dungeon. And like, thank God we love each other. Like, we love each other, but we're in that room together constantly.
A long time.
So
it's small. It's big enough, but
it's small.
Yeah.
So it is kind of a nice like reality check to even just go sell at a random pop-up. And I'm like, oh my God, real humans are consuming this stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And when you say interactive workshops, like what do you mean by that?
So we do like candle making workshops.
So where people can have you come to them and like do it like as an event or something for a group of people?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, so we like to do like corporate events. We do pretty well in those. We did Coachella. We did some scenting there. And I found for me, like, as long as we can afford to do it and it's something that feels morally aligned, I'm like, let's go.
Yeah.
Because it is really fun to experiment with scent with people.
Yeah.
Everyone's relationship to it is so different. Where like lavender may remind you of your grandma and it may remind me of an ex-boyfriend. So like our reactions to stuff are so different.
Yeah. And smell is such an interesting sense. You know what I mean? Like it affects your taste. And I definitely think it affects, like if you can't smell like your favorite food, it doesn't look as good. So it's like such an important thing. And everybody has a different level of smell. Like I've met people who like can smell the tiniest odor. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't smell anything. So it's like, it runs the gamut for sure. What are some of your favorite candles to make?
Like scent-wise, definitely anything earthy. My favorite I ever made, we had to discontinue because the people did not like it. I love it. It was called Treehouse, and it smelled like straight up wet dirt. And I'm like, this is like, I feel like sometimes I'm like creatively, I'm like, I want to make something.
What did you use to make that?
A lot.
I mean, like, in theory, like you could imagine like the wet dirt from like gardening and how that would smell, but lighting that candle in your house would be like a different thing.
It's a different thing, yeah. So they're like, hey, we don't want our houses to smell like dirtier. And I'm like, no, heard. Like, I'm here experimenting with scent all day. So to us, we're like, yes. And to them, they're like,
well, because
no.
it's got to be kind of a cool thing, like to figure out how to make something smell like something else, right? Like I just saw an ad where like somewhere made a perfume that smells like the inside of a bra.
I love that. We're working on something similar right now. That's so funny. So yeah, we definitely have passion projects like that, and then it's
like
more
just for funsies.
Just for funsies, or we do a lot of like collaborative projects. So like this one's for a store in the high desert. This one's the saguaro. We're doing like artist candles. So I love like creating with like an idea in mind. And sometimes I just wake up and I can picture the scent, and I will be in here like a crazy person where I'm like mixing all the, and I'm like, it's not hitting right. It's not like I can picture it and then trying to create
Have you always been like a person who smells things? Like, was that like a thing for you before?
This is all
new.
All new. No.
So that's so interesting to me because, I mean, again, like people would have quit a long time ago. Like your health issues alone could have put the brakes on most people's lives. And like such a random thing. I mean, I love candles. You know what I mean? Like, transparently, I buy the discounted ones sometimes at the home, you know what I mean, home goods aisle occasionally, because I'm like, oh shit, there's so many different smells, like how do you know, whatever. But to like create this whole empire, because that's what you did, around candles and scents and stuff, like that's really a huge accomplishment.
It is like super random. I want to say prior to this, I had one JCPenney candle that like I didn't burn for 3 years. Like that was, I'm like, this was my candle collection.
Yeah.
So to have this be my career is crazy.
Yeah. So you're in the Hyatt, you're at Saguaro. Where else are your candles found to be purchased in person?
We sell in, I want to say 176 retailers right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
I like picturing the spreadsheet, 176 confirmed.
That's
so
amazing.
we sell
all
across,
in like Southern California or?
No, so we're across the United States. We do really well in Texas, New York, and obviously California for sure.
Sure.
But yeah, it is crazy. The internet like did that magically. I tell people that like God is my marketing director because I don't know what I'm like. I cannot convince someone to buy something. Like, I don't know, you like it or you don't.
Yeah.
But like the World Wide Web like has made us more accessible to other businesses.
And particularly during COVID, it's interesting in like one of the hardest times in history of the world. There were a lot of people like yourself that were able to capitalize on the things that we had to do. Like you had to shop online. You couldn't go in a store. And like, so they had to search out things that they wanted on the internet. And that's how they were able to find you. And now you can go, now they're all over the country. Oh my God, that's so fucking cool, dude.
That's crazy.
That's so cool.
I like literally still wake up every day and I'm like, is this a prank? Like that's so crazy.
So I hear also though, like when you sell your candles, there's also some giving back there, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
So with each sale, we donate to the Mojave Desert Land Trust. I feel like, especially with my like resentment towards like business and capitalism and destroying the planet and harming people, I'm like, dude, like just baseline, even if I don't change the world or do something crazy amazing, I don't want to make the planet worse.
Sure.
You know, so in a very like small local way, I found partnering with them is nice because they do so much like conservation for our local area, and like this is where I'm doing business out of.
Yeah.
Like I don't want the planet to be destroyed.
Yeah, well, and I think that in my opinion, like having a big impact like directly where you are is way more reachable and therefore way more impactful than trying to do this huge thing. Like it's like the little ripple in the pond situation. So every time you do that, you're giving a little bit each time, which adds up to be huge.
Yeah.
It adds up to be huge.
It is like, yeah, we did initially partner with One Tree Planted when I first started. And I found for me, it was like $1 equaled 1 tree planted. And so it was a nice visual for me. But it helped motivate me where I'm like, dude, we planted 1,000 trees.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, let's get more stuff. Like, it was something to get really excited about.
Yeah.
And then also just with like the state of world now, seeing how I can give back in other ways, because obviously like socially there's a lot of things going on. So whether it's like a food bank fundraiser or a mutual aid group, of like collecting donations to just kind of help the community that like we exist here.
Yeah, 100%. And you said a couple times like you're kind of anti-business and anti-rich, but like that is all good for the good it can do. Like if you could have the amount of wealth that would allow you to make and affect really big change in your community, like what a gift.
What a gift.
What a gift. And like you're so on the way to that. But there's a lot of people, like I said, would have given up a long time ago. Was there something that you told yourself or something that just kind of kept you going when you were like, fuck that, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to not do this. Like, how did you convince yourself to do that?
I think a huge motivator for me is my team. Like as soon as I got my first employee, I'm like, someone else's livelihood depends on me. That's a big responsibility.
Somebody else's livelihood depends on you. You are gifting that livelihood to her. Like you have worked hard for that.
Yeah.
That's wealth.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So I feel like they're a huge motivation where even now I'm like, okay, like I'm eating food and I'm paying rent and that's awesome. But like girls on the team, like some of them have multiple jobs and they're like working really hard. And I'm like, hey, I don't want my team to qualify for food stamps. Like that's insane. So that's like a huge motivator of like, I want them to have a good life. I want them to have a good option. Like I want a good workplace for them.
Yeah.
And so that is such a motivator when I wake up and I'm like, I don't want to send this email. It's like, send the email. We want to make sure they get hours this week.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. So for anybody out there that's like trying to figure out how to get started, or what would be one tip that you would give them?
Just like try everything and do it kind of bad even. I feel like everything I've learned was through making mistakes, making bad candles, like
dirt
mismanagement. And I found like also just like enacting like spiritual principles or like being a good human in your work, like that translates huge where it's like, I'm telling you this is going to be shipped out on this day and practicing integrity and having it out on that day. So just like being the kindest, best person you can. And also like, it'll work out, just do it kind of bad and, figure out how to learn from it.
Well, I think creating or working and building is, they say like when you make a meal, when you cook a meal and you cook it with love, it tastes so much better. It's like that with a product or that with whatever you're selling, right? Like if you're doing it with love and intention and integrity, like that translates. And whether or not people know it immediately, they'll know it eventually. And that creates a lifelong business, lifelong customers, lifelong whatever. So I totally am into that.
Yeah. I found our team sometimes will be like, making stuff and we're like, oh no, our vibes are off and the customers are gonna feel it in their candle. And so like there is such a like emotional element to what we do. And just like the closeness of our team, like we're experiencing life together, so like we're coming in crying, like we're coming in on our days off to just like have support and like be together. And I'm like, I don't know how energy or any of that stuff, but I'm like, I think they're in the candles. So I don't know. It's mostly good.
It's mostly good. It's all good. Well, and so tell us your Instagram handle so people can find you online or however they would order your candles online.
My Instagram is Molly Moon Crafts. That's also my TikTok. Also our YouTube. Don't look up our YouTube, please.
Oh, now you have to.
Don't go there.
Now you have to.
And our website is mollymooncrafts.com. If you email me, I might answer. I try.
Awesome. Is there anything else you'd like to say?
Just like do what you want to do. This might be like the only time we're alive. And I'm like, what if I was just bored the entire time and not taking, like, just embarrass yourself, it's totally chill.
Yeah.
And you probably, like, won't die of embarrassment. So, just do what you want to do and be nice.
And be kind.
Yeah.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you for this. This was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I have a hug?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.